Today we are in a tiny Florida beach town that is not on most tourists' radar.
This area is much more affordable and much less busy than its more well-known neighbors to the north and south, has a ton of good options for drinks and dining, and a lot of beach accesses.
Now, while most tourists may not know about this spot, it is popular among the locals. So in this video, we're gonna show you why this could become your favorite beach destination as well. In case you're new here, we're Jamie and Skylar, and the beach town we're talking about is Indian Rocks Beach. This quaint coastal town is located on Florida's Gulf Coast, in between Clearwater Beach and St. Pete Beach. And while it was hit hard by 2 major hurricanes around 6 months ago, most of the beaches and businesses are back open and ready for you to visit, including our first stop for coffee and breakfast.
So we made it to our breakfast spot here in Indian Rocks Beach at Grove Surf Cafe. And the name may sound familiar because we actually went to a Grove Surf Cafe in our St. Pete Beach travel guide. Unfortunately though, we have heard that that location is temporarily closed due to damage suffered from the hurricanes. Now, as we showed you, it is pretty busy in there. There's a huge line, and we kind of honestly forgot to account for the fact that it's spring break still right now. So we're guessing it's probably not normally this busy on a Monday morning, but I'm sure it'll be worth the wait.
And I really didn't mind the line, as it gave me time to scope out these delicious looking baked goods, browse through some merchandise, and ponder our coffee order.
So even though it's really packed in there, the line thankfully did move really quickly. We got our key lime muffin right away. Our coffee also came out really quick, and right now we're just waiting on our avocado toast.
Now I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna try the avocado toast first. So this avocado toast is unique. It's on some really good sourdough bread, and it also has radishes and corn nuts. We've never had avocado toast with corn nuts. It adds a nice crunch to it.
So they do have some seasonal specials here at Grove today, and not only were we able to get a key lime muffin, but also a coconut key lime latte. Now, I have never had key lime in a latte before, but I love everything key lime typically, so I'm excited to try this. So both the key lime and the coconut in that are pretty subtle, but you can taste them both. They actually have a crust on top, which kind of looks weird, but actually tastes really good. I wish it had a little more espresso in it, but I do like it. Now, I definitely have had plenty of key lime muffins before, but this is the first one I've had that actually had shaved key lime rind on top. So that is one of the best, if not the best, key lime muffins I've ever had. The muffin itself isn't flavorful, but I really like the texture, and this filling is super flavorful. It's a little sweet, very tangy. I absolutely love it.
So overall, we thought the coffee was good, the food was great, but maybe the best thing about this place is being able to sit outside right across the street from the beach, and that's where we're taking you next.
So we are here at the 15th Avenue Beach Access, which is only around a block or so from Grove. Now, most of these beach accesses do have some free public parking, and it may actually look like there's a lot of open public parking here still, but the majority of the spots in this lot that are closest to the beach are for residents only, so you definitely do not want to park there if you're a tourist, because you most likely will get towed.
Now, if you are visiting Indian Rocks Beach, here's where you're gonna wanna park, and here's where you're not.
Now, we got out on the island around 8:15 this morning, and while a lot of the spots were taken, we were able to find one relatively quickly on the beach. But if you want to make sure that you're able to find a spot on the beach, we would definitely recommend getting out here early. So as you can see, the morning clouds haven't completely burned off yet, and as a result, this beach isn't quite as pretty as it probably will be an hour from now, but it is still beautiful. The sand is quite clean, and a lot of people have already made their way out here. Now, the first thing I noticed out here, though, is that there really isn't much for sand dunes. I don't remember this particular access perfectly, but I have a feeling that the sand dunes right here used to be much bigger and full of vegetation. As you can see now, there isn't much for dunes to speak of, and the vegetation, while it is starting to grow back, does look pretty barren.
While we enjoy a walk along this beautiful Indian Rocks Beach, we do want to take a minute to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Airalo.
Have you ever lost phone service or connectivity when traveling and had to go searching for free Wi-Fi or received a huge roaming bill when traveling internationally? If so, then the next time you're planning a trip, we would recommend downloading the Airalo app and using our code Explorcation3 to receive $3 off your first eSIM plan.
Airalo offers easy access to 100% digital eSIMs, providing global connectivity to travelers. eSIMs allow you to use your phone in different countries by connecting to local networks. Airalo's digital eSIMs are easy to download and install, provide coverage in over 200 countries and regions, and solve the problem of high roaming bills by offering affordable plans for all.
Purchasing an eSIM prior to traveling can ensure that you stay connected from the moment that you land at your destination. Whether you need data to stay connected with family and friends, navigate or research while on your trip, or just stay up to date on social media, Airalo eSIMs have you covered.
Install the Airalo app today so you can be covered wherever you travel, and use our code Explorcation3 to receive $3 off your first eSIM plan. Now, we wouldn't blame you if you decided to stay and hang out at this beach all day, but we have at least a couple other beach accesses to show you, as well as a bunch of other stuff, so we gotta get going. One of the many reasons we love Indian Rocks Beach is because of its bikeability and walkability. We actually have our e-bikes out here today because there are bike lanes everywhere. And we also only had to find parking once. Most of the businesses and the beaches do have parking for bikes, but if you are visiting from out of town and don't have your own bike, there are several places to rent bikes and e-bikes in the city. We were gonna show you this place, but unfortunately it is closed. There's another one we're aware of that's in another part of town. We'll point it out when we get to that area.
So we were going to take you to another beach access next, but we had to make a detour because we came across a brand new establishment here in Indian Rocks Beach that we didn't even know existed until now. It's called Turkish Flame. It's only been open for about 4 months, and it just so happens that they currently have their cold appetizers on happy hour. One of our favorite appetizers is stuffed grape leaves, so we got an order of those, and we got another one that we've never tried before as well.
Now, we chose to eat outside today because it is a gorgeous day, but we have to mention the inside of this place. Both the dining room and the bar kind of make you feel like you're in another country. So when we come back here in the summer months when it's really hot, we're definitely eating inside.
After just a few short minutes, our happy hour appetizer orders arrived, and since I absolutely love stuffed grape leaves, I had to try those first.
I love the soft rice inside and the hint of lemon.
So I am going to try the other cold appetizer. I honestly already forgot what it was called, and even if I did know what it was, I guarantee I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. So we're just going to put the name of it at the bottom of the screen. We have never tried this before, so here goes nothing. So this is very creamy. I guess the main ingredient is yogurt. It also has some olive flavor in it and a lot of dill. I love olives and dill, so I love this appetizer, and the bread that it comes with is really fresh as well. Now, even though I really do enjoy both of these appetizers individually, I learned that I actually like them the most mixed together.
Now, our second beach stop of the day is right here at the 28th Avenue Beach Access Point, which is the northernmost access point in Indian Rocks Beach. Now, we would expect this one to typically be less busy because it is pedestrian only. There is no parking here, but we still think it's worth a visit because it might be the most beautiful beach access point in the entire city. So we had planned to film here today because the forecast looked amazing. It was supposed to be a high of 80, sunny skies, and no chance of rain. So we were really hoping for beautiful blue skies and turquoise water. But instead, we've got this. It's mainly overcast, a little windy, and it's also misting. So that goes to show you, you can't trust a Florida forecast. But we are hoping it clears up this afternoon. So even though it is far from a great beach day, Skylar decided he had to go and test out the water. How is it?
Still a little chilly for me, but probably warm enough for someone from up north. So while you're definitely not going to find a bunch of college kids partying here on Indian Rocks Beach during spring break, it does still seem to be a little bit busier than usual, and there are a lot of families out on the beach today. That said, you can still find a lot of room to spread out on this beach. If you really want a secluded beach experience though, all you have to do is go just a little bit to the north to Bel Air Beach. Now, the reason that beach is so empty is because Bel-Air Beach does not try to cater to tourists at all. You cannot even rent a place for less than 3 months there. The only people that can park at the beaches are the residents. There's only one public beach access, and you can't even set up shade structures, meaning you cannot have an umbrella. But if you really crave that secluded beach feel and are willing to walk a little bit, you can park at the north end of Indian Rocks Beach and walk up to Bel-Air Beach. Now, we're gonna go take a walk up that way to hopefully build up a little bit of an appetite for our original lunch spot, which we'll see at next.
Unfortunately, the weather continued to be uncooperative, and as a result, this walk on the beach was another short one.
So we finally made it here to our original lunch spot, and as we mentioned earlier, Indian Rocks Beach is already less expensive than more touristy beach towns like Clearwater Beach and St. Pete Beach, and it's really less expensive if you visit during the week and take advantage of its happy hours. Now, we already took you to one happy hour, and we're here at another one for lunch. They got some great happy hour food specials here 5 days a week and some delicious drinks. Now, if you've been to this Orange Crush or one of the ones up in Clearwater Beach, then you probably already know that it's known for its tropical island atmosphere and its drinks featuring freshly squeezed citrus. I went with the original Orange Crush, Jamie went with the Grapefruit Crush, and they're only $6 a piece right now during happy hour. Now, because we had that mid-morning snack at the Turkish place and our beach walk got cut short due to rain, we are not hungry at all, but we still had to order a few wings because they're only $1 a piece during happy hour. We went with the original buffalo wings. I guess they're made with their homemade sauce and homemade blue cheese. I've never tried these wings, and I'll let you know how they are in a minute. Now, these are definitely my type of wing. The size is good, they're not battered, they're really juicy. The sauce is thick, it really sticks to the wing, and you can tell that the blue cheese is house-made. It's delicious. For just $1 a piece, these wings are a bargain. The sauce also sticks to your fingers. They are a bit messy.
Now, they are a little bit spicy, but I can handle it, and I really like the flavor. So in case you don't get out early enough to snag one of those free spots, you can always check the main public beach access. It does have a much larger parking lot, but you do have to pay for the parking. It is $2.50 an hour, which is still less than some of the neighboring beach towns. Now, it does offer some amenities. The smaller beach accesses here do at least have rinse-off stations, but here at the main access, there are restrooms and you can rent beach chairs and umbrellas.
Now, because this access does have by far the most parking of all the beach accesses, it should come as no surprise that the beach here is the busiest. That being said, it's still a lot busier than we'd normally expect it to be on a Monday. I think a lot of that is due to the fact that it's spring break, but it could also be that a lot of the people that typically vacation further to the south are now vacationing further north, because down there in the cities of St. Pete Beach, Treasure Island, and Madeira Beach, you can still see the effects of the hurricanes much more. A lot of the businesses still haven't reopened, and many of the major resorts and restaurants on the beach aren't even scheduled to reopen until mid to late summer.
Now, these clouds are still hanging around and it's still pretty windy, so in our opinion, it is not a great beach day, but it is a great day for a walk in a park. And Indian Rocks Beach does have a pretty cool park, so we're gonna go check out to see if it's reopened since the hurricanes.
So we've made it out to the nature preserve, and we're happy to find that the Boardwalk Trail has reopened. And like Jamie mentioned earlier, it's actually turned out to be a pretty perfect day for hiking, so we'll see you out on the trail.
So this boardwalk is in really good shape. We have no idea how much damage it sustained during the hurricanes, but it is really nice now.
Now we've only been out on this trail probably about 5 minutes or so, and we've already reached this lookout point on the intercoastal. The boardwalk was in great condition the entire way. We actually think it'd be a really good trail for a family pushing a stroller or someone in a wheelchair or with limited mobility. Now, if you've been following our channel for a while, you may remember that we filmed an Indian Rocks Beach episode a few years back where we visited spots like Peepo and Betty's, Anecdote Brewing, and Kooky Coconut. Now we're happy to let you know that all of those spots have reopened, and we would recommend all of them as great spots here in Indian Rocks Beach. And we'd also recommend VIP if you're a fan of Mexican food. Now, if you are interested in seeing what some of those establishments look like or what some of the beaches here looked like prior to the hurricanes, we will leave a link to that episode in the video description.
Now we would love to tell you how long this boardwalk path was, but the map doesn't say, so we're not really sure, but it's not too long.
Maybe took us 10 to 15 minutes to walk the entire thing.
Yeah.
So I would guess it's under a mile.
We should mention the nature reserve does have restrooms and a dog park.
The dog park's actually pretty impressive. It even has a couple fire hydrants in it.
So we started our day out here really early because there was an early bird dinner special that we wanted to show you. It's at Guppy's on the Beach, which is actually right across the street from the main public beach access where we were just a little while ago.
So our experience here at Guppy's is off to a great start. They seated us outside. It's a nice shady area with a nice breeze blowing through. They also brought us out fresh hot bread before we even got our orders taken. It seems like it came right out of the oven, and it kind of takes us back to being in Spain. So I did decide to order the early bird special. I went with the rainbow trout. It does come with a soup or a salad. I chose the soup, which today is a fish chowder. So I think that's a tomato-based soup. It has some Cajun flavor in it. It's a little bit spicy, very flavorful. I would recommend it, it's good.
So we did think we would have a hard time finishing 2 meals if we both did the early bird special because it is a lot of food for $22. So instead, I went with the lobster cargo as an entree. So this presentation is actually just like escargot, but it's lobster. Oh, that lemony, buttery goodness is delicious.
So I ordered the rainbow trout with smashed potatoes and vegetables. The trout appears to be lightly fried. It's also topped with blue crab and some sort of sauce. So a lot of times I don't love fried fish. I find it too greasy, but this is very lightly breaded. It's super crispy, but not that greasy. I love the flavor of it, and I really love the blue crab on top. This is also possibly the best presentation of mashed potatoes that I've ever seen. I almost don't even want to eat them. They look so good. Now, I can't say they taste quite as good as they look, but they are still really good. Now, Jamie is smart and decided to level up the potatoes by dipping them in her lobster cargo butter. I know that's got to be good. We just finished up our dinner at Guppy's. It was actually our very first time there, and we both agreed we would come back, especially for that early bird special. We were kind of hoping that by the time we got out of here, the skies would have cleared up, but as you can see, they definitely have not. So we've kind of given up on our sunny beach day. At this point, I think our only hope is that it might clear up in time for sunset.
Now right behind me is the other shop I mentioned earlier today where you can rent e-bikes and a bunch of other things. It's located in an area of town that's even more bikeable and walkable, as on either side of the road there are separate lanes for bikers and walkers. So we decided to wait for sunset at one of the accesses on the south side of town. Now, if you have visited this beach area before, then you may recognize this sign, and you may already tell that this beach access is completely different from what it used to be. There used to be a really nice wooden boardwalk, as well as sand dunes and a bunch of vegetation, but unfortunately the hurricane took that all out. Now, it might not be the same, but it's still pretty, so we'll see you out there.
Prior to the hurricanes, many of the beach accesses had boardwalks that went up and over the sand dunes. A majority of the dunes and walkways are now gone. We can only hope that with time, the vegetation will grow back. We do not know if there are plans to build up the dunes or rebuild the walkways in Indian Rocks Beach. But regardless, this will forever be one of our favorite beach towns along Florida's Gulf Coast. Over the years, we've spent many days soaking up the sun, swimming in the typically calm water, and looking for seashells.
All right, so here's the update, guys. We've been out on this beach for about a half hour now and still have another hour or so until sunset. It's actually starting to get kind of chilly, and as you can see, it's still completely overcast, so there seems to be about a 0% chance that we're gonna end this night with a beautiful Florida sunset. So Jamie decided if she can't end her night with a sunset, she's at least gonna end it with ice cream.
But before we take you to get ice cream with us, we do want to share some footage from a prior sunset we experienced on this very same beach. While we didn't have much luck with the weather on this day, we did want to show you how beautiful this area of Florida is when it decides to show off a bit. My craving for a sweet treat brought us back north to IRB Creamery. And since it was spring break, it was quite busy with a line out of the door. But in my opinion, it was worth the wait. I got a scoop of pistachio and birthday cake, and both were absolutely fantastic.
Now, even though we didn't get our sunset or much sun in general today, we are still able to end the night on a really high note with some delicious ice cream. We really hope you enjoyed coming along with us on our adventures in Indian Rocks Beach today. And if you want to see many more of our Florida adventures, be sure you're subscribed to our channel. And as always, thanks for watching.